Hello, my name is Ryan Berry. I'm the project director of Arizona Achieve, the self-advocacy coalition for the state of Arizona. Tuba City, located in Coconino County, is a town that sits on the border between the Navajo and Hopi Nation. It is rich in culture, history, and stunning desert landscapes. However, Tuba City, like other rural communities, faces a pressing problem that affects the lives of many people with disabilities: a lack of transportation. Last February, I took a trip up to Tuba City to interview 3 members of the Northern Arizona Tribal Disability Coalition, a self-advocacy group based out of the local independent living center, Assist to Independence. The following video showcases the stories of those individuals and their fight for independence.
My name is Heather Joe. I'm from Wildcat Peak area near here, Tuba City, and I'm the vice president to Northern Arizona Tribal Disability Coalition.
My name is Dwayne Kiani, and I am a pastor from Ganado, Arizona.
My name is Elton Yazi. I am a disability advocate, Navajo from Northern Arizona. My clans are Yedina Chachitni, born for Todichitni. I represent a disability advocacy group called Northern Arizona Tribal Disability Coalition as their president. And just recently, back in September 2023, I was appointed to the Navajo Nation Advisory Council on Disability by President Nygren. The general problem with transportation in Tuba City and the surrounding communities is that we have no transportation whatsoever coming in or out of Tuba City from the Navajo Nation, or even into off the reservation, which is Flagstaff or up to Page.
You know, everybody enjoy getting around and traveling, shopping, and we don't really have that on the reservation unless we go with family members to like other towns like Flagstaff, even into the city of Phoenix. And it just seems like we don't have what the transportation services that they have.
The only transportation that I've got is my auntie, and then sometimes we actually try to look for a ride to go to the store or for laundry needs and whatnot there.
Small towns such as Tuba City, they don't really have like shuttles or even taxi or Lyft. They don't have those kinds of services, so people try to get around by walking or hitchhiking, which is dangerous.
But this did not used to be the case. Just 5 years ago, the Navajo Nation had a transit system with multiple bus routes that connected to small towns like Tuba City and Granada. So what happened?
Before the pandemic hit across the United States, Navajo transit system did run in and out of Tuba City. They would run from Tuba City eastbound towards Window Rock or into Kayenta. And there was time that we did have routes that went into Flagstaff as well for individuals to go shopping in Flagstaff. But when the pandemic hit, everything got shut down across Navajo Nation. And now that we got everything lifted, and it's been over a year, we still haven't had any transit system running.
They have buses that they used to have, Navajo transit bus. They used to come down to Tuba City. That one is not in operation at this time due to no drivers available for Tuba City and Ganado and Windrock area.
They say it's because of the lack of driver, the lack of funding, and then the lack of, I guess, drivers getting their CDLs.
For people with disabilities, transportation is not just a convenience, but a lifeline to the world. In rural areas like Tuba City, without public transit, people with disabilities' health and safety can be put at risk.
I used to live on the north side of Tuba City, and sometimes I would try to walk from my apartment to the hospital, which is not that far. And there's like uneven sidewalks there. And a couple of times, I guess there's cracks in the sidewalks that my cane got stuck in. And when your cane gets stuck in those cracks, you can either run into your cane and hurt yourself or like trip over your cane. And that area, the sidewalks is very narrow.
And our roads are really bad out here. Muddy roads that we have, and potholes and whatnot. Like yesterday, I believe it was, we were going to Windrock, and we seen this one person with a wheelchair going alongside the highway.
I myself am a blind person, try to navigate with my cane here, and sometimes the tip does get stuck in those sidewalks as well. Or like I said, if they're too steep, we don't know how steep they are at times, and they're supposed to be more ADA compliant, but these sidewalks been up since as far as I know, back in the 1990s. So
one time I did not feel so good, and it's like, how would I get to the hospital? And I tried like calling my family members, they're at work, and I tried like calling other people, but they're busy. So I had the courage to start walking on the sidewalk, even though there was like some obstacles. But as I got closer to the hospital, there's a person that offered me a ride to the hospital. So it's scary sometimes when situations happen like that.
Before the interview, Heather provided me pictures of the obstacles that she and many others have to face every day. These pictures show many broken, uneven sidewalks, and some parts where there is no sidewalk at all. Unfortunately, problems like this are not just limited to small towns in northern Arizona. The impact of having poor public transit is felt across the state and the country. Many people with disabilities are kept from their jobs, going to school, and even seeing their doctor.
And we would like to be independent and make things a lot better out here than it is now. So we can live comfortably and live just our lives, doing our errands, getting to our appointments without asking for too much help.
Sometimes we just like seems like we get locked up at home, and we want to go out and we want to do some things in the community, get business done. In my case, I went to Colorado Center for the Blind, and I want to get a job, and even stuff like that. Transportation is needed there.
and a lot of times it's hard to do because family members are so busy, family and friends, so we can't really turn and ask them to help us with transportation.
Arizona is one of 5 states that provides no state money for public transportation, and most federal funding does not go to these rural communities, so it is left to people like Elton, Heather, and Dwayne to advocate for the change they need.
We are trying to also teach businesses around town, around the reservation, about how people with disability can be independent. So the first step would be getting transportation services so people can see that we can be independent.
That we are pretty much left on the, as they say, on the back burner. We are the forgotten ones here, basically. And if we don't do it, who else is going to do it for us? I mean, there's always that saying, "What about us?"
If you are a person with a disability or an ally, join Arizona Achieve. Go to azachieve-tempearc.org to be part of a statewide self-advocacy coalition that gives people with disabilities a voice and the tools to gain independence. Together, we can achieve a more inclusive Arizona.